Welcome to Fox Encounter. I am your host, Fox. Please consider taking a few seconds to subscribe, drop a like on the video, and share it with your friends. Stay tuned for more content and enjoy the episode.
And now, suspense.
We'll talk about some of the films that you've been in. I found out about you from The Invitation. You know, you're in the opening scene, and the opening scene for me in film is what hooks me. Because of your scenes, I was like, okay, I need to watch this because I think it's gonna go somewhere really, really different. And I was really surprised. I actually really enjoyed it because I went into it completely blind. I didn't know what the film was about. And so every turn and every, reveal, I was very surprised.
I'm so happy to hear that. That's why we worked for.
For people who haven't seen it, you can probably skip ahead so there's no spoilers. But the scene you had in the beginning, actually, I think the first 10 minutes is on YouTube. Like you can watch the first 10 minutes. Yeah. So there's a scene, I'm pretty sure, obviously, people have probably seen it, but there's a scene where you have a prop. Did you see the prop that they had for you?
Unfortunately, I wasn't there that day. I have a lot of pictures about it, and it's scary good. It is scary good. It looks really good.
Mm-hmm. I think they did a really good job. Because I was wondering, was that, when I saw it, I was like, that CGI? Is it practical? And then I did see the photos and I'm like, oh, okay, it was practical. It looked really good.
It is. It's a Hungarian artist. He works in props and in movies. I don't know how many years, 40 years maybe. His name is Ivan Pohárnak. He worked in Marvel projects before, and he does fabulous big jobs. And I went into the studio and I actually uploaded the video how they made my head. It's an IG. If it is an IG, it's for people to watch it and enjoy. Me almost suffocating because they just, yeah. It is a very scary project to have your head propped. It is a scary thing.
Yeah, I can imagine if I think it's a surreal thing.
The director kept it. She has it. I mean, she just wrote 3 days ago that she thinks that she should take this home because she still have it.
Would you want to have taken that home if they offered it to you?
No, they offered me the painting.
Oh, the painting.
Yeah, they offered me the painting because all the statues and the paintings are actually after me. So they offered me the painting, and it's quite huge. So it was tempting to put it, into the, living room wall. No, it would be really cringy. So no,
But you look great
you
in
just
that.
sit, actually, my father was a painter, so I have many paintings about myself.
Oh, okay, that makes sense then. You could have sent it to me, and I would hang it up on my wall.
Absolutely, I can ask Emil. He was one of our producers, and he always walks me that I should put it into the hall. So people, when people just come into my place, they will immediately see it.
I'm really drawn to period pieces and any film that has a lot of really good costumes that look very, very Victorian and stuff like that.
Yeah, I did a couple of those.
Mm-hmm.
Couple of those projects. I usually do period pieces. I have the features for it, the typecast. My typecast is corset bimbo.
Yeah, those are often I feel like those are some very tough roles. That a lot of the costume and stuff, it does not look comfortable. I mean, it looks great.
It is not.
But as someone who knows about that stuff, you can tell that it's not very comfortable.
It is not. The corset is such an uncomfortable thing, and of course, then it keeps you. You don't have to, your stomach. You watch your stomach or anything, but it is a very painful thing. And I think once one of my ribs were cracked because they. Put it so tightly, and I wore it for 11 hours.
Oh wow!
And I had very small micro cracks in it, but it was bruised and everything. It was awful, but it looks amazing on film.
Yeah, it does. It really does. And then I feel like we really need to give more credit to the actors who have to suffer through that for our entertainment.
But I think it's always about, the spandex. All the Marvel guys are always talk about it, that they cannot drink and they cannot use the restroom in it. And, we girls, we are always in these huge gowns. And if I would like to go to the restroom, at least 3 people comes with me and holds my dress. So it's just like, it is the funniest thing, because they are actually there holding your dress, because how would you go,
The American Western films, they have to shoot these projects out in like the deserts, and it's extremely hot, and they're wearing pieces that are accurate to the time. And me being from one of these desert states, I know exactly how hot it is just to wear something like this. So they're wearing, time accurate long sleeve and jeans from that time, and the women are wearing the corsets and long dresses. I'm like, it is so hot. Like, I don't know how they can do that without fainting.
Oh, we are fainting for sure. And I think it was like that. That's why they thought that Victorian women are so fragile, because it was fashionable to be very skinny and wear a corset as tight as you can. So they fainted all the time. That's why they thought that women in general are weak. They're just weak because they always faint. Of course, they are not eating and they're suffocating themselves.
This is a question I like to ask everyone. Do you have a favorite film?
I have a couple of one. I mean, do you know someone who has only one favorite film? It should change with time.
It really does change. Like just depending on like your age as well too. Something that you might love from when you were a kid, it often changes with time because your mind is growing and you see things a lot differently.
And the way you feel. I mean, if you're in love, of course, you will be very attracted to Cinema Paradiso. Everybody who saw it, it's one of the most beautiful movies. I love the Royal Tenenbaums. It always makes me feel like home. Mm-hmm. Like I would like to belong to that family, because I feel like I belong to this family. And Doctor Strangelove is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Oh, okay.
I think, Peter Sellers, he's everything. And that's my favorite Kubrick movie. But I'm very European, so of course I would have these type of answers.
For me, it's always I always come back to the Lord of the Rings series. Anytime I watch it, I'm pretty much just transported back to when I was a child and when I first saw it. It really is like magical to me. Like I see it, and even from a technical perspective of how those films were shot, it's incredible. Like it's incredible filmmaking.
It is. I really love Tolkien, and I really love everything about Lord of the Rings. And I think the 3 movies were just unexceptionally good. And even if I missed a couple of things from the books, I was a child when I saw it. I missed, especially from the first part. I'm not sure about the name in English. It was in Hungary. It was Bombadil Toma. I'm sure he was the woodkeeper, the magical woodkeeper. I don't know, you remember it from the book. And he is not in the movie.
Mm.
And I remember to watch the movie and wait for him to appear. And he's not there. Oh my God. So it was like, but I loved the movie very much. And I think everybody was in love with Viggo Mortensen at least once in their life. So.
Yeah, Viggo is one of those actors I think is so diverse, especially with, I feel like he doesn't get a lot of credit for the fact that he can change his voice, and he's also very good at other languages. Like when you hear him speak Spanish, it's actually, as someone like me, I speak very fluent Spanish, and so when I hear non-native Spanish speaking people speak it, it's actually sometimes it's very, very good. Like Viggo Mortensen is very good at Spanish.
Mi vida la pasé en Buenos Aires y en el Chaco, en el norte de Argentina. Los primeros 10 años de tu vida son importantes, te forman hasta cierto punto.
Tommy Lee Jones, a lot of people don't know, but Tommy Lee Jones is actually very fluent and very good at Spanish.
I didn't know that. I studied Spanish because I was in a Spanish TV series for a while. So, but I'm not really proud of that. I still have to improve it. There's room for improvement for sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll have to watch that one too.
You can definitely hear that I'm not confident.
I often too feel like my Spanish isn't very great sometimes. I talk to people from Mexico in my job. They always think that I'm from there. They're like, "Oh, where did you grow up?" And you sound very familiar. And I was like, "Oh, I grew up here and I learned Spanish through school and my grandfather and my mom, they're like, really, like that you sound like you're from there. And that's because that's what I learned mostly is the inflection of that, you know, a certain region, because that's mostly the people that live in my area come from. I think with any language, if you're speaking to someone from certain regions, you pick up that inflection.
Oh, absolutely. I visited Ireland once. So, and I started to talk like that. Like after 2 days, I was like, it's the loveliest thing ever. I love it. I have to talk like this. And you just catch it up. You just, if you hear it, because I think actors are good in mimicking. So when someone talks to you like this, you just easily, you know,
Yeah.
catch up it.